Our speaker today is Paul W. Giggler, who served in the Marine Corps for 6 years and achieved the rank of sergeant. For the last 2.5 years of his service, he was a drill instructor at Parris Island. Paul and his wife Barbara have had their own interior design business, Wildwood Interiors, for 34 years. Although Paul was born and raised in Arnold, Pennsylvania, he and Barbara have lived in Oakmont for 32 years and have 5 children. Paul assured me that before I introduced him, he would try and keep his speech to at least 2.5 hours. Would you please welcome Paul Giggler?
Good morning, and it is a good morning to remember America's fallen servicemen and women for the sacrifice they made in the name of freedom and our way of life. I am very humbled to be here today and being asked to speak, being surrounded by all these tombstones, gravestones of all the people who have given their life for the freedom we have today. It just really is an unbelievable feeling to be surrounded like that. Thanksgiving is a day to give thanks for what we have. And Memorial Day is the day we give thanks for the people who fought for the things we have. There are 3 words that make up the life of a serviceman: duty, honor, and country. Duty, honor, and country. These 3 words are the basis for training. These words make us strong enough to know when you are weak, and brave enough to face yourself when you are afraid. Duty, honor, country. These 3 words dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, and what you will be. To build courage when courage seems to fail. To regain faith when there seems to be little cause for faith. And to create hope when hope becomes forlorn. The unbeliever will say that these are but words. To have a heart that is clean, a goal that is high, to learn to laugh, but never forget how to weep. Just picture something in your mind right now. Let's picture the serviceman who was in Vietnam. Basically, he was around 20.5 years old. He wore an 8-pound helmet, a 45-pound flak jacket, carried his weapons and ammunition in 120-degree weather, in rice paddies up to his knees in dung. Mosquitoes by the thousands. Have not had dry socks for weeks or sleep in as many days. This is duty, honor, and country. Or should we go to present-day Afghanistan? The same heavy gear, they wear the same heavy helmets, the same heavy flak jackets. But it's 140-degree heat. They said the shampoo bottles melt in the heat. It said all plastic shampoo bottles just melt over there. Sand in the eyes and mouth, parched lips that crack and bleed, so hot and at the same time, soaked with perspiration. And all the while, we are sitting home in front of our television, relaxing, having an enjoyable time. Every time I train and graduate a platoon of Marines, I am filled with emotion and admiration I cannot put into words. These young men and women have endured 16 weeks of very tough training. Training is so rough, one can describe it only as if you have been there, you'll understand. Just think, 16 weeks ago, these young men and women were at home driving their parents crazy, and their parents were wondering, when are you going to get out of here and do something? They never complained. The Marines never complained, even though in the back of their minds they wonder, is it me who will never return home alive? And the ones who do come home maimed, lost their arms or legs, and are blind. I had 2 brothers in the Marine Corps, Ronnie and Rusty Preisendeffer. The only 2 children this family had, and they were both killed by a sniper bullet. How do you tell a parent that their children are dead? How do you drive up in a military vehicle, knock on the front door, and before you say one word, they know what has happened to their boys? It's a very difficult thing to do. I would say greed is ruining this country today. So many on the dole, so many think they are entitled to everything. We chastise success and we reward failure. Lying is a way of life. Do you think these are the values our men and women gave their lives for? I think not. Duty, honor, country. The soldier who is called upon to give his life for his country is the noblest development of mankind. There is no country in the world as great as ours. You can thank a veteran or remember the fallen every time you say, I am free. In closing, I want to read you the words for TAPS. A lot of people don't know what the words are to TAPS, so I'm going to read them to you. And if you really want to know the whole story about TAPS, go on to Google and type in the origin of TAPS and read about it. It's a very moving story. Very good. The words to TAPS are, day is done, gone the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest. God is nigh. Just think about it for a minute. We have not been asked to give our life for our country, so why don't we start living for this country? It'll be a very good thing to do. May God bless our veterans and fallen heroes in the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paul. That was an inspiring message, and we really appreciate your being here today.